monks out there and things that we've seen where they created these miraculous feats. And in the West, we're just like, yeah, we hear about this guy who can stop a bullet with his teeth or set himself on fire or not scream. We hear about all these amazing things. But, they never ask themselves, like, how did people get like that? Like, what did they do exactly? Like, why were they able to set themselves on fire and not even scream? Like, how does a human being get to do that, right? And we think, oh, they're doing some magic up in the mountains. They're meditating. They're using meditation. That's good, gang. How you living, baby? How are you living today? What's up? What's up, Amanda? What's up, Tara? What's up, Michelle? Kenzie? How y'all doing, man? Sunday. Rad day, man. Rad day. I will. Rod. They're awfully close to each other, so I'm assuming I'm going to try and get it done. I'm doing really well. I'm in the middle of my little morning routine right now, so I just made my coffee, and I'm about to make some oatmeal. I always make some fresh oats with some, throw a couple blueberries in there, and a little bit of Manuka honey. Let's go, boys. Yes. And that's my breakfast, my first breakfast, and I'm excited about that. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of you know I was going to try and grow it out, but it's just tough. I used to grow it out, but I'm just not in love with the process anymore. Like, if I could get back to just having a full palm tree, then I would be, like, really ecstatic about that. But the year-long process it takes me to get there, it's like, I'm going to look too much like, just not how, I like to look kind of clean, I look kind of clean. I like that. I like to just be squared up. If y'all know, I'm kind of clean cut. I'm kind of like a GQ boy. I only got this one tattoo. It's like the only tattoo. I got that tattoo when I was like 19 years old, and never been back. I like the clean cut look. If people don't fuck with it, I don't know. That's on them. I like it. Today, real quick, I want to talk to you about meditation. Yo, if you've ever been followed me for any length of time, you've heard me speak about the importance of meditation in general. Mountain Wind, what's up? How you living, baby? Hold on, let me get this looking for a pot. Hold up, wait a minute. What are y'all gonna do today? Anybody got any specific outline plans or goals? You know what I mean? Every day, if you start your day off with a little bit of like a morning meeting, if you will, something where you like set intentions for your day. It's so powerful, man. So powerful. It might be a habit that you're not used to, because a lot of people, especially on the weekends, right, when our job doesn't dictate what we do for the day, then a lot of us will just kind of sit around and wait for something to happen that day, or for some type of, you know what I mean? You wait for your friend to call you and invite you to do something, or like, I remember back in the day, I used to just kind of sit around and chill and then let the day come to me as it comes. But then you really end up not getting much done because not because you're lazy, or not because you're tired or any of that. You just never really set an intention for the day. You were never like, yo, I'm going to get this done today. So, super powerful today for you guys. You might be halfway into your day already. I know I'm on the West Coast and it's already 11:30. So, a lot of you guys might already be deep in the sauce today. But still, for tomorrow, take some time sometimes to be like, this is what I'm going to get done today. Or this is what I'm going to do. I do that way too. I'm telling you, I've fallen victim to that plenty of times, You just don't really pay attention. And then you finally do think of something you want to do, and then the day is like already over, and it's just like, oh, we should have gone to the beach, or whatever. It's 5 o'clock now, So really think about it in depth, In the morning, like when you first wake up, that's the first thing I think of. I'm like, hell yeah, brand new fucking day, brand new chance for me to push myself forward, push my life forward, or do something miraculous today. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, the world's your whole oyster, Rod. You have all day, man. What do you want to do? And that's why sometimes you see me, I'll just fucking pop up on a fall somewhere. You know what I mean? I'll be on a hike all of a sudden in the middle of the fucking mountains, and you just, you know what I mean? You gotta come out here and get that life like that. You gotta get that life. Life don't come and get you. You gotta go out there and get that shit. So we're gonna get oatmeal today. Meditation. Who's doing it? Who's trying it? Who loves it? Who hates it? Thanks, bro. Yo, Jimmy Bennett. It's a Jimmy Bennett shirt, man. It's a Jimmy Bennett fucking classic right here from tour. Stuff. Thank you. Well, so meditation for me is something that I found circa 2015 or 16 maybe. 2015 or 16. I had just started getting into the law of attraction in like 2014, 2013. I was dating this girl, and she was like, yo, have you ever seen The Secret? And I was like, no, what is that? And she was like, I think you'll fuck with it, you know, like, because I already had kind of like a mindset that was really, I don't know, I've always kind of had, like, you know, certain people we have archetypes, like certain people do, like, have certain types of personalities, if you will. And I've always have this type of motivator mentality, you know, of somebody who, like, is trying to push things forward, trying to push myself forward, trying to push people forward. And just, I have a progressive mentality in that way. And so she was like, I think you'll like it. She was like, I think you'll like it. You know, I listen to a lot of stuff you talk about, and I think you would really get into this, The Secret. And so we sat down and we watched it one day on Netflix, and I was like, immediately, I was like, see, I fucking knew it. I distinctly remember sitting there being like, I fucking knew it. I knew that there was some shit going on out here that I didn't quite get my head around, you know? And there was just more magic to what was going on out here in life than people were leading me to believe. And so then that's, you know, as everybody knows, that The Secret is just kind of like your entry level course, you know what I mean? It's just a little taste of what the law of attraction is about. It doesn't really teach you how to put the law of attraction into efficient action, right? And so from there, I was just, you know, flopping around for 2 years doing what a lot of people do. I was watching I Want to Win the Lottery YouTube videos, you know? And I was just like, I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. You know, I was doing all that shit. And then I was like, I got into Afghanistan. And Afghanistan was both a curse and a super blessing for me because I was super stuck out there by myself. And, you know, you have a lot of time. You're away from your family. You're away from everything. It's like being in prison almost, you know, except for the gates keep people out is the joke we make. And the gates keep people out instead of keeping you in. But they keep you in too because you ain't going nowhere, right? So, you know, it's just a lot like a prison type of lifestyle. We don't have a lot of amenities or fun things to do. You can go to the gym, you can go to the DFAC, and you can pretty much go home. So that was pretty much the gist of it for me. And so it gave me a ton of time to study and learn. And I was just obsessed with it all of a sudden. Because now that I heard about this law of attraction, I was so absorbed in how do I apply this shit in my life? Like, how do I use this shit? You know, obviously. It's just like anything. If you get given this, what's up, Jordy? What's up, Grind Gang? If you're given this amazing weapon, the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out how to use it. How do I put it to good use, or this amazing tool? And so I started learning. I started studying. And that led me to studying a bunch of different successful people. You know what I mean? Like other people in the world and their philosophies of success and personal development and how they're getting better. And the more I went down this list of successful people or people that I looked up to and blah, 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 the more they kept telling me about their morning routines and how their morning routine was the sauce of all sauces. Like the reason that they were these kings and titans of industry and amazing people and all these different sectors that I looked up to, like 9 out of 10 of them had this like morning routine and it was checking off certain blocks. And it was kind of like their direction to using the law of attraction, like how they go about using this idea. And there's a lot of consistencies in them, guys. There's a lot of consistencies in them. One thing you find in a lot of those successful people is they move their body for about 30 minutes a day. This might be hiking, this might be walking, this might be running, they might be into boxing or jump roping or lifting weights or whatever, some type of physical activity. But I think it was like 80%, or it's like an overwhelming number of them, do some type of physical activity in this morning routine. Another big one is they journal, right? A lot of them have some type of journaling practice where they write out intentions for their day, or they write out their goals, or maybe even just self-reflect using paper and pen of like where their life is at and how they're moving and how well they're doing on all the goals and things they set. So journaling, huge practice, right? And then another one I kept coming up with, meditation. Huge. It'll blow you away at how many people out here in the world have some type of powerful meditation practice, but we don't really hear about that too much over here in Western society, Western culture. That's not something that, it's starting to more and more, but up until this point, it hasn't really been a prevailing knowledge in our society. But it has an Eastern culture, as we all know, right? Plenty of monks out there and things that we've seen where they created these miraculous feats. And in the West, we're just like, yeah, we hear about this guy who can stop a bullet with his teeth or set himself on fire or not scream. We hear about all these amazing things. But, they never ask themselves, like, how did people get like that? Like, what did they do exactly? Like, why were they able to set themselves on fire and not even scream? Like, how does a human being get to do that, right? And we think, they're doing some magic up in the mountains. They're meditating. They're using meditation, but they're using it to a level, to a degree in which you probably will never reach, right? It's like black belt level meditation, right? But that's how powerful it can be. If you can master that type of skill, that's the type of benefits that people have been able to achieve in their life, is the overcoming of all types of different suffering, whether it be mental suffering, emotional suffering, or even body suffering. Like I said, I've seen these cats, they'll lay on beds of nails, and they'll just lay there, just comfortable. They're just relaxed. And you're thinking to yourself, like, how the fuck you do that, right? But they have some type of superior mechanism in their brain that allows them to overcome physical pain. And you don't have that. Why? Because you weren't born with it? No, you don't have it because you haven't developed it. Neither have I. But those people have. Anyways, I digress. This is meditation. But I learned that a lot of people in the West were still using meditation to do what Western society does, right? Like Eastern society, they're more than comfortable just chilling and relaxing and learning and growing. But over here, we're capitalists, right? So we have to come out here, we have to produce, we need to become successful, we need to make money, right? We have to build things. That's what Western society is all about. And so, but a lot of people are using that form of meditation to navigate the crazy Western world. I'm now one of those people. As I started to learn about this practice, I was like, if all these other people are doing it and they're getting all these crazy results, you know me, right? That's my whole steez. Like, I want results. So if I see you doing something and it works for you, I'm going to try it. I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to see what it does in my shit. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, all right, let me try and figure out this meditation shit. And it's difficult. It's not easy. As most things are. That's what I found out first. It's like, you know what? I always thought meditation was just something you do or you don't do. It is not. It's just like anything. It's like a basketball, right? You pick up a basketball, you know what I mean? You dribbling like a monkey, you just looking like a dumbass over there, you looking all stupid, you're dropping the ball, you know what I mean? You're like, this shit ain't for me, you know what I mean? So that's what I found meditation to be like. I thought I was going to find it to be like this thing where I just sat down and did it, but then I really quickly realized, this is something I'm going to have to learn how to do. Like, this is a skill I'm going to have to develop. And so I started working on it. But this is the thing that people do. When they find something to be difficult, then they just quit. Like you try it one time and it wasn't as easy as you thought it was going to be. You thought you'd just pick it up. And then it becomes like really difficult. You're like, I ain't got time for this shit. I ain't got time to learn this. It's too much. Whatever. You forget all those benefits that you could get if you spent a little time developing. And so I'm here to remind you that if you spend a little bit of time getting over that first little hump, that first little learning curve, if you will, that's highly uncomfortable. But once you move through that and you practice a little bit, you really start to master the techniques. And when you do that, holy shit, boys and girls. Holy shit. Everything in my life evolved in a way that I couldn't even imagine when I was just doing what I thought was the law of attraction, right? The funny thing about it is, to use the law of attraction properly, right, you have to be able to direct your thoughts. You have to be able to, in a way, control your thoughts. You can't ever really control them, but you need to be able to direct them to what you want to see in the world, right? Like, you have to be able to take your thoughts and say, think of the world like this. Think of my life like this. Think of my financial situation like this. Even if it's not like that, you have to be able to think of it like it is, right? You have to be able to act and be like it is. That's how the law of attraction works. How do you do that if you have zero control over your thoughts? If you have no idea what your thoughts are, where they are, when they're happening, how they're happening, you don't know anything about your thoughts. Most people don't. I didn't. I had no idea. It wasn't until all of a sudden I started tuning into the conversation and I started realizing, holy shit, all day, every day, since I was a little itty bitty baby, every day, I've had this voice in my head that talks to me. It tells me to do things. People are scared of that. But it's true. You have one. I have one. Everybody has one, right? Something all day that's like, why the fuck that nigga say that to me? Like, that's bullshit, man. He shouldn't have done that. I'm way cooler than he trying to play me like I'm trying to. I know, right? And what the fuck? But did you see? And didn't they? Who the fuck are you talking to? Right? You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself. And who is that self that you're talking to, though? That talk back and forth to you. Here's my favorite exercise. I stole it off of a rapper or somebody who was a public speaker. But I love this exercise. He'd say, let's all say the word apple in our minds, right? So say apple in your mind. Not out loud with your mouth, but in your mind, say apple. You said it? You heard it. That's the voice I'm talking about. The voice that speaks even when no sound is made. There's somebody talking to you. I didn't know that person existed. I had no idea, right? I didn't really think of, that's the first thing that meditation taught me is, I'm not my thoughts. Like, my thoughts and me are not the same thing. Like, when I think, oh man, Rod, you're a piece of shit. When I think that, Rod, you suck. I quickly remember, I don't suck. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not me. I don't suck. I'm not, sometimes I'll be like, man, people think you a dork out here. Who the fuck is that? Who's talking about me like that? I'm just looking around like, who talking about me like that? Better quit saying some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't listening to that voice. But a lot of us don't know that. So a lot of us identify with that voice immediately. We tell ourselves, oh, you look like shit. And then you're like, yeah, that's right, I do look like shit. And it's like, what? You don't have to listen to that voice. That voice don't control you. You don't have to do what that voice in your head tell you to do. Even if it tell you to think of yourself like shit, you don't have to do that, right? You can be like, hey, thoughts, let's take it a little more positive today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're making me kind of feel bad about myself and the way I look. Like, maybe we could think about all the ways in which I'm powerful today. Like, let's think about all the ways in which I'm dope, I'm succeeding, I'm really intelligent, I'm very, funny and witty. I've been working on my body, so I'm getting healthier, I'm getting happier with the way I look, or anything, right? You can throw out any other thoughts out there that are going to make you feel better, make you feel more powerful, make you feel stronger. So you have control over those guys. You have control over those thoughts. But people run around all day, every day, acting like they don't they? Don't you see everybody in your life acting like they don't have no control over the way they think or the way they do things? They just be like, well, it's just the way I am. Well, I don't know. I just be having all these really negative thoughts. So do I. So does everybody. The thoughts do that sometimes. Thoughts just be thinking. That's just what thoughts do. They be thinking sometimes. They don't really think about good or bad or nice for you or ugly. They just be thinking. And so you get meditation in your game, right? And meditation is going to teach you all this wonderful shit about how to sit down sometimes and be quiet, right? Shut the fuck up. That's step one. How could you ever hear what's going on in your head if you're just constantly, always listening to everybody else? Everybody else, what everybody else has to say or do or think or be, or how everybody else is doing their jig. You're always watching somebody else do their jig. Hell, it could be me. You always watch Rod on Instagram. Every day, all day, doing his jig. You'd be like, thinking to yourself, like, man, Rod's so happy, man. I wonder if I could be like Rod. And you can be. Sure, you can be. But Rod doesn't get that way by constantly absorbing everybody else's opinion and lifestyle and dance and all that shit, right? Sometimes I shut all you motherfuckers up so I can figure out who the fuck I am and what I'm doing in here, right? If I listen to you guys 24/7, 7 days a week, 365, how the fuck am I ever going to learn who I am if I'm always listening to what you think I am, or what you think you are, or what you think about George Floyd, or what you think about the world, or what you think about this and that, and who I am and where I am, if I'm poor, or if I'm happy, or if I'm broke. You know what I mean? You're always just listening to everybody else. You never listen to yourself. What do you? Who do you? What do you think about it? Right? And so step one is you got to get quiet. And that's why meditation is all about. Turn off the cell phone. Just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? It's just 15 minutes. It took a level of discipline at first because I'm saying that, but in reality, right, 15 minutes is like your whole life. It only takes 30 minutes to get a good workout in, but you just can't find that 30 minutes, right? I know, I've been there. It's just, sometimes in my meditation practice, it only takes me 15 minutes for my entire day to be brilliant. But you know how hard it is sometimes for me to just find that 15 minutes? Really what I mean by find is make myself sit down and do it, right? It takes a certain level of discipline because Instagram's entertaining. It's fun. It's fun to play video games. It's fun to watch TV. You got a lot of shit you got to get done today. You know, you're busy. But my thing about it is, if you could just spend 15 minutes and be effectively busy, wouldn't you rather do that than just run around with chicken with your head cut off? You're all depressed. You're all anxiety. You're all shook up. You know, and 15 minutes a day could free all of that. But you trick yourself into thinking you're too busy, got too many other important things going on. It's like there's nothing more important than your personal mental health. Nothing. There's not a single thing out here. Getting your rent paid or something? What good is having good paid rent if you're depressed? What does it matter? You're not going to be happy about the place you live in anyway, so what does it matter? Right? There's nothing in this world that matters if inside your shit's all fucked up. So there's nobody can convince me that they got something better they got to do than take care of their own personal body, mind, and spirit. There's just no possible way you could, right? Hey, if you're dying, if you're in a hospital bed sick, does it matter if you had to go to work today? No. You in a hospital bed now. You're dead. You know what I mean? You're halfway to dead. So this idea that you don't got time to take care of your health is insane to me, right? It's really a lie that you tell yourself. We all know that. And so, but we tell ourselves that and we'll listen to that lie. And it'll keep us away from doing something so simple as just quiet everything for 15 minutes and figuring out how to get into our own mind. How to be okay in our own mind. There's a lot of lessons you learn along the way through meditation. So first is how do I even, like I said, how do I even pull myself out of the matrix for 15 minutes? How do I just get myself to be like, all right, let's put the world down for 15 minutes and let's just focus on me. That's step one, which is a brilliant thing to learn, right? If you can learn how to just focus on you for a couple minutes, Jesus H. Christ, think about all the power that's in that, right? Like there's amazing power in you being able to figure out how to sit with yourself and listen to yourself and find out what it is that you need. Like do you need love? Do you need patience or time? Do you need to work harder? How do you know what you need if you're not listening to yourself? Spending some time really giving yourself a voice, you know what I mean? To find out, take stock of where your body is at, where your mind is at. How are you feeling about that day? Most of us just hop out of bed and we run into it. You don't even ask yourself, am I feeling good today? Am I about to be a joyous service to somebody, or am I about to be a little negative Nancy poo? Am I in a little shitty mood or something? I'm about to snap at my wife, snap at my boyfriend, snap at my bosses and all that stuff. Not really because I'm mad, but just because I never took the time to like shake all my shit out. But it'll happen to you. It'll happen. So step one is you got to get that consistency level. You got to develop the discipline to pull yourself away. But then it's consistency, right? It's just like everything else we talk about. Step one is how do I get started, which is a battle and a process in itself. But then it's like, how do I keep going, right? After you get started, then it's always like, oh, I did it for a couple weeks and then I fell off. Well, because it's a whole different battle. You can't fight the I get started battle. After 2 weeks, you're started. Now it's the how do I stay consistent daily battle, right? It's a whole different fight, but you learn how to fight it. And so you start asking yourself, how do I stay consistent? How can I be here, quiet, peaceful, and not think to myself, I'm bored. I'm hungry. I don't even know why we're doing this anyways. It's just too hard. It's not even doing anything. It's like, well, shut the fuck up. Well, shut up. You keep talking over the process. You keep giving up every time you're trying to get into it, right? You gotta have to learn what it means to sit 15 minutes alone with no inputs. And it's difficult. Why is it difficult? When's the last time you did that? When's the last time people in our society just sat down in 15 minutes of complete silence? I'll tell you what, if I gave you just 1 minute of silence on this live, you would leave. I promise you. I just know it. Like if I just sat here quietly for 1 minute. Look, already, half of you are already bored as fuck. Half of you are already like, is he really about to sit here for a minute? Man, I got shit I got to do today, man. I'm gonna click. You don't really got nothing else to do. You're just going to go click and watch somebody else's stories and shit, right? But that's how fast our brains are moving these days. Is that because we're all ADHD? Is that because we all just have super hyperactive? It's the society that we live in. It's you. It's you don't ever shut your brain back. You know what I mean? You don't ever get back away from all these constant inputs. Constant. The TV, the radio, your wife, your kids, everybody constantly, Mommy, Daddy, I need this. Look at me. Look at me over here. Look what I did. Look war, hey, war over there. Look over there. Hey, look over here. Look, look what I'm doing. Look what I mean. And then everybody wonders why they're stressed out and why it's like hard. And they're like panicking. It was, of course, life is chaotic for no reason. Just a month ago, you were fighting a pandemic. Now you're fighting for justice. And it happened so fast you didn't even see it. That's the world you live in now, you know? It's not the world's fault. I like it that way. I'm glad that I have this much speed and this much intensity going on because it allows me to do so many things. But even the best tool, like we said, I gave you an amazing, I didn't give it to you, but God, the universe, whatever, gave you an amazing tool, body, a spirit, a mind. But if you don't know how to use it, it's detriment, right? It's torture to you. People out here every day being tortured by their own mind. That's a beautiful tool you have. A beautiful tool to create amazing things in the world. And you're tortured by it, not because your mind sucks, but you suck at using your mind. Right? And so the same goes with any tool. Is you got to practice with, you got to learn. It's super powerful tools that you have. Meditation, super powerful tool. The society we live in with cell phones and internet and communication and fast-paced information is a beautiful tool that you have. But if you don't practice how to use it properly and effectively, it's going to destroy you. Flat out, right? Gun, super powerful. Why don't you give it to a baby? Too powerful a weapon for the baby to understand the consequences that come along with using the gun. And so do you take the gun and hand it to the 4-year-old and say, have a good time, buddy? But that's what we'll do in our society because we don't understand these complications yet. It's just all too new. Just not enough of us are paying attention, which is okay. All this is okay. We're going to figure it out as we go. And that's why I'm trying to help us figure this shit out as we go. And one of the things that I've learned that's helped me personally in this battle against my not battle, but learning how to keep pace with this crazy life that we're living, is fucking meditation, folks. And now, like I said, at first it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm about to go hit it right after I get off of this. Okay? It's not the easiest thing in the world. It takes practice. It takes understanding. I had to go find guided tutorials online for forever. You know, I had to follow people. This guy, Vishen Lakiani, is who taught me how to meditate. And I always put his resource out there because he has an entire school. It's called Mindvalley Academy, dedicated to teaching people how to meditate. And it's just like with anything. Once you have the will to do something, once you have the desire, the motivation, as people call it, to do something, the resources are out there, you know? The information is out there at scale. You'll find it, everything that you need. Vishen Lakiani, and I might misspell his last name, of course. It's really tricky, but I think if you put that into the smart box, it should spit you out the answer you're looking for. And Mindvalley. He's with Mindvalley Academy or something like that. And he had this thing called the 6-phase meditation. And so every day for weeks and weeks when I was in Afghanistan, every morning, I used to just get up and run out. I would force myself. I changed up my whole morning routine to make sure I had this 15 minutes that I had time to just sit there patiently, calmly, and I would work through this little meditation that he gave me. And for years I did it like that. And I saw amazing benefits. And then all of a sudden it was like, yo, all of a sudden I started looking at that meditation as kind of like a rookie meditation. You know, I was just like, dang, man, like now that listening to your voice guide me through this meditation is kind of distracting to my practice of meditation. You know what I mean? Like I've developed in a way that I don't really need you to walk me through this anymore. You're more like, you know, slowing me down, which is great. That's progress. And then I moved on to like self-meditation, quiet meditations, affirmation style meditations, creative thinking meditations, like all these different ways to express this idea because I wanted to, like, you know, get the benefits. And I have tremendously. More than anything else. More than all the books I read. More than all the push-ups I did. More than everything that I've done so far, meditation has taught me, it's just given me so much peace in my life because people don't realize how much your thoughts are creating your reality. And sometimes your thoughts are not your friends. You know what I mean? People always think, oh, I'm thinking, like, sometimes thoughts just come. Sometimes you're just afraid. Sometimes you're just whatever, you know, for whatever circumstance. Whatever is going on around you is causing you to think a certain way. And if you don't have any type of mechanism that allows you to detach from that, it's chaotic. It's scary. It's like, you know, every time you thought a thought, if you really thought it was real, like I said, every time if I thought, yo, people are really starting to think Rodtheplanter out here is whack, which I think, right? Which I think sometimes. I'm like, yo, you probably getting real preachy on people, man. Like, people probably really not fucking with this. Like, they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're allowing it, but they're not fucking with it. And I go through this whole conversation in my head, which very well may or may not be true, right? But did anybody tell me that on Instagram? No. Have I ever seen any evidence of that anywhere besides in my own brain and my own insecurities? I have not, you know? I haven't seen that. Everybody keeps telling me, thank you. You're helping me. Like, you're amazing. You're doing amazing things, you know, blah, blah. But there's some type of mechanism in our brain that is fearful and will create fearful ideas about ourselves. Luckily, I've created a process that I can detach from that and say, yeah, I'm not with that shit. You know what I mean? That's not me. That's not me. Like, you need to change that thoughts. You need to move along. And that's the only way I've been able to get that power to be able to detach from my thoughts is through meditation. So I highly encourage that everybody try it out. It's the thought that counts. Yeah, facts. That is true. I love that. I never thought about that. It's the thought that counts. Love you, fam. I'm hop off. You're beautiful. Thanks, brother. Thanks. I'm glad. I love you too. I hope you had an amazing day. Ralph Smart is amazing too. I'm gonna look into that guy. Ralph Smart. Gotta be careful where you give your energy. Where energy flows, you know, energy will grow, or whatever they say. Wherever energy flows, that thing will grow. So for sure. Silence is deafening. People can't. Yeah, it's wild. It's people have a really difficult time. I had a really difficult time just hanging out in silence. You know, it's really not. It takes practice. It takes practice. You're just not used to it. Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.